everybody, it's Michelle, and today we're going to be doing an Easter lily bead charm. Easter is just around the corner, and I thought this was a really cute idea for a bead charm. So I'm going to be using 2 of the green 3-petal flower beads, and these are the same ones that you saw me use as a Christmas tree bead charm. I stacked 3 of those and turned them into Christmas trees, and today we're going to use them for the greenery of our flower. So I've got 2 of those. I've got a 2mm bugle bead and a little seed bead, both in green. Those are going to help build our stem as we go up the flower. I've got a yellow teardrop, and that's a 3 by 5mm teardrop. That's going to be the center of our flower. I've got a clear bicone. I think that's a 4mm. Let me check it just to make sure. Yes, that is a 4mm clear bicone. And that's just going to go down inside of this flower here, just a frosted white acrylic flower bead. That's going to be our lily. And the clear teardrop down inside of there is going to help stabilize that for us. Then I've got a 2-inch head pin, a jump ring, and a lobster clasp. And if you've seen my videos before, you know that you can use these on any sort of jewelry connector that you want to use. You can put it on ear wires and create 2, and you've got a nice pair of earrings. You can put it on a pendant bell if you want it on a necklace. This way is sort of a clip-on charm that you could put onto a purse or a zipper pull, maybe even hang it from your rear view mirror, something like that. So I'm going to take my head pin, put one of my 3-petal flower beads on, upside down, sort of with the open end up, the opposite of what we did for our Christmas tree. And then I'm going to put my little green seed bead, just enough to give that a little bit of lift for the next one to go on. And this looks like how, you know, the greenery sort of staggers all the way up the stems of lilies. And I thought that would be a good way to represent it into a small bead charm. Now I do have these here that you could use, and as those stack up, that looks really more like the blades of a lily because they're more pointed. And I didn't really want to use that because it was a little too large for what I was wanting to do here with my bead charm. I'll probably put that onto a necklace pendant. But if you wanted to use these larger ones and have it be a much larger charm, you could dangle that from your rear view mirror or anything you want. I think that would be much better for a decoration type of use. Okay, so we've got our 2 3-petal flower beads with their little spacer seed bead in between. So now I'm going to put my bugle bead, and that's going to be the stem, and then my acrylic flower bead, and you can see how that kind of flops around loosely on the head pin there. So that's why we need that 4mm bicone down in there, and that'll rest down in the narrow part of the flower and help stabilize it for us. Now for the center of my flower, I'm using the yellow teardrop, and I'm going to put that on upside down with the narrow end pointing down. And that bicone down in there not only helps stabilize the white part of the flower, but it gives a little lift to the yellow part as well. And that is our Easter lily. I'm going to go ahead and hold everything firmly together and bend that head pin over at a 90-degree angle. And with tall bead charms like this, you need to be careful when you bend that head pin to make sure that you don't bend the structure of your charm underneath. So now I'm going to cut my head pin down to about 1/4 inch, maybe slightly more. And if you use the longer head pins, if you're using say a 3-inch or so, you would have enough excess there to create your jump ring from that if you wanted to. So I'm just going to roll that into a loop with my round nose pliers. until that closes and connects down there. And you can always come in with your chain nose or something to straighten up that loop if it's leaning a little sideways on you. And then all we have to do is connect our jump ring and lobster clasp. Or, like I said, instead of a lobster clasp, you can put any type of jewelry connector you want, depending on what kind of piece you're going to make out of this. I just like to create the charms and just leave it open for you guys to decide what kind of jewelry piece or decoration piece that you're going to be using that on. So there is our Easter lily, and I think that is so cute. I think it's just adorable for Easter. And if the flower leans over a little bit, that's okay too. You can even give it a little bend if you want, because lilies do that on their own naturally. So it's whatever you want with yours. You can have it facing straight upward or off to the side, however you want it. I think I'll go ahead and give a little bit of a bend to my loop at the top there, so that can dangle with the flower curving sideways just a little bit. Okay, and I think I will go ahead and make one with these. Like I said, they are truer to the real look of the greenery on lilies. So I'm going to first put one of our green flower beads to serve as the greenery, sort of the blades for our lily. And I'm going to use a bugle bead as a spacer this time instead of the little tiny seed bead, so that it gives a little more lift and looks like the stem from the bottom there. And another green flower bead for another layer of blades. And then I'm going to put a couple of the green bugle beads on next to make a longer stem. And if you have a long green bugle bead, just go ahead and use that. That'll work too. And then our white acrylic flower bead. And I'm going to try a little bit larger of a bicone down in there. This one is a 6mm instead of a 4. And then another of my 3x5 yellow teardrop. And I think that is so cute. So again, we're just going to bend that over. I'm going to put the head of the head pin against my finger and my thumbnail over that top bead and sort of squeeze everything together, making sure it's nice and tight together, and bend that head pin. But don't hold too tightly that you bend the structure of your flower stem. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my head pin down a little more than 1/4 inch. Roll that into a loop with my round nose pliers. And straighten that up. And then attach a jump ring, and again, whatever type of connector you want to use, but I've got a lobster clasp here. I usually use the lobster clasps just for example. You guys can always change that up to any type of connector you want based on what you want to hang it from. So there is the larger one, and those blades really look like the blades on a lily a little bit more. So I think that is really cute. So I'm kind of glad that I went ahead and did this other one. When I started filming the video, I didn't really have planned to do that, only to show you guys the beads as an example. But now that it's together, I really like it. I'm happy with this one, probably more so than this one. But based on the size and scale that you need for whatever project you're doing with yours, you can change that up however you want to. Whichever you decide to do, it's just that quick and simple to put together a lily bead charm for Easter, for jewelry or decorations, charms. You could even hang these from a Bible bookmark, something like that, as gifts for church members at Easter. I think that would be really cute. So be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think. I had a lot of fun with these and I hope you guys like them too. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me a like over on my Facebook page, and be sure to join our Facebook group Craftie Minds. Also follow me on Pinterest and Instagram, and don't forget to visit my blog. I'll have the links to everything in the description below, so be sure and check them out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.